Hello everyone, welcome to Samber Style. So as you guys can see, we got a new addition to the dock, and in true Samber fashion, it is a project. So we've been living on the lake almost 2 years now, and ever since we moved to the lake, Amber's been wanting to get a boat. So for the last year and a half, Amber and I have been laying on Facebook Marketplace trying to find that perfect boat, and we eventually discovered that we need to have cash in hand and be ready to go for that perfect deal, because if there's a perfect deal, it is gone before you can even go look at it, and we've experienced that many times. So we got our cash in hand and we finally got the deal of a lifetime on this boat. So like I said, it is a project, and I'm gonna go over the good, the bad and the ugly of this boat, and then also give a couple of you that's first time boat owners or looking to be boat owners a couple of tips and things to avoid to make your boating experience a little bit better. The only thing I know about boats is what my friend Greg told me, and that is bust out another 1,000. So I'm sure this boat might be multiple thousands to get to a nice perfect or close to perfect condition, but let's get right into it. Okay guys, this is our 2002 Larson LXI 230. So let's start off with all the good things about this boat. First of all, it's a 23-foot boat and we got it for $9,000. Originally listed at $15,000, which was a little bit out of budget. However, when we went to test drive the boat, which was 3 hours away, it did not start at all. So it took about 30-40 minutes us sitting in the water with the guy we're buying it from, and it just didn't want to run, and then there was a lot of things that didn't work in his favor. So we put down the price for $9,000. He came back with a counter offer. Amber stuck to her guns and she said she read a book that said never split the difference, and that is exactly what she did. She stuck to it, and then eventually he accepted our offer for $9,000, which is a great deal on a 23-foot boat. Second that I want to mention is the taxes on this boat. This is an older boat, 2002, so your taxes would be less, and it's got an inboard motor. Here in South Carolina, if you have an outboard motor, you actually pay a separate tax on your motor than your boat. So you pay twice the amount of tax than you would with the inboard outboard motor like we have right here, so that is a big plus. And then of course we did manage to get the boat running and driving. It was the first time to run after it was winterized, and since we've owned it, the boat's been running pretty good. So it definitely runs and drives, and we don't need to do anything mechanical, so we can go out and enjoy it right away. It does have 2 keys, which is a bonus. I feel like usually you only get 1 key with the old boat like that, which is no big deal, but it's a little bit of a win. We try to celebrate all the little wins we can get. And then also we got a bimini top that is working and functional. It needs a little bit of work. And we also have all the calipers for the boat. Another good thing is the fact that it is a Volvo Penta, and these motors are plentiful, and parts for the motors itself is very easy and very common, and you won't have a hard time finding parts. It's got a twin prop to make it go fast, however it's not in the best condition. This is a 24-year-old boat, and just by looking at the upholstery, it is really holding up pretty good for its age. There is a few blemishes, but in general it is looking good and it's all there. And then last but not least is the trailer. So it is a dual axle trailer, which is a color matching trailer to the boat, and we just think that's awesome because you don't see that every day, that you find an old boat with a matching trailer that it looks like it just were kept together since factory, which is a big plus for us, and I have to say it tows really good. It also needs a little bit of work, like pretty much everything on this boat. And now that all the good stuff is out the way, let's get into the bad. One of the bad things, which is pretty bad, is that there is no electronics. So none of the gauges or anything work. We don't have a depth finder, we don't have fuel, heat, oil, anything like that, speed, which is not ideal. I knew I said the upholstery is pretty good for its age. However, there are a few things which we think for this summer it will be good enough. After this season, we would go ahead and reupholster everywhere where it is needed. So as you guys can see, it's slowly getting to that time where it is beginning to pull apart. The gas cap is not ideal. We do not want to lose this. For now, we took it off. I just need to re-secure it again. There's this latch. which that's not the way we want to open it. It probably just need a little grub screw or something, but yeah, that's something that's also on the list. And then this controller, I'm not sure what you call it, it is sticky, so when we go it is hard to get it in gear and out of gear and punch it in reverse, so that usually needs a little bit of extra loving. Something that I would personally like to definitely change out. And then another biggie, which is very unfortunate, is our windshield. It did come with a completely busted windshield, and that's, I think, gonna be a hard part to find, and if we find it, it's gonna be pricey. Couple of missing screws, and then a little thing also on the covers is there are a couple of these buttons missing out of the boat itself, and then a couple of ones that's ripped out of the covers, which will over time would slowly probably address that and get it fixed. And we also got a broken nightlight. Hopefully these things are universal. As I'm a new boat owner, I am not too sure how many universal parts you can get and interchange with different boats, and hopefully this is one of them. The trailer needs a little bit of work as well, so that is supposed to be the light, and then also that is also part of the light, so a little bit of work is going to be needed, so I'll probably rewire the whole trailer. And then it looks like the trailer also been knocked a little bit, so that's very minor. It's not preventing us from using the boat, but eventually we would like to get that fixed as well. Okay, everything I just showed you guys that is potentially bad, it would not be bad if this boat was still in production. That's the biggest downfall of this boat, Larsen brand anyways. We are first-time boat owners, and we did not really think about that before we bought this boat. So finding parts for all those little miscellaneous things like the broken dash cover, a couple of screws, latches, and all those things, electronics, is gonna be really hard to find. That's the biggest downfall. I would recommend, if you are buying a boat for the first time, highly recommend to make sure you can find parts for that boat, or there was a mass production of that specific boat you were looking at, and that parts are easy to find. Even on eBay, it's really hard for us to find parts. We are always on the lookout. We got alerts on our phones. We're trying boat salvages. If anybody actually knows out there or familiar with this brand or know where to find parts, please let us know in the comments down below. Anything would be very helpful for us, as we are on a quest to find all these random little parts. So now let's get down to the ugly of this boat. The first thing I would definitely say, it is dirty. It definitely needs a good detail all the way through. As you guys can see, there is a vice grip that came with the boat, and that is to knock your poles onto the battery. So that's also something that needs to be changed for sure. Couple of things there that need to be changed. Very ugly indeed. And on this side, I already had to replace 2 relays for the tilt motor to get the boat actually out of the water. As you guys can see, it is pretty dirty. Got an oar, you never know, and some old bumpers. So there is a table that goes in this little U section, which is right in here, and the reason why I say this is in the ugly section is because of this. Well, let's open the broken latch first. So there is the table. It looks like this table has been in there since this boat came out the factory. Not looking great, but we are definitely gonna clean it up and get everything back to factory, or try to at least. So as you guys can see, all that's needed is a little grub screw to hold on that latch, and we should be good. And then another thing that's a little bit ugly, not necessarily the worst, is this carpet. We would like to eventually replace this with some nice modern decking. I do not think this is the prettiest finish, but that's how they were back in the day. However, it is complete and all there, and it does what it needs to do for now. Another thing, that's probably just my opinion, is this dash covers, or dash, whatever you want to call it. The wood grain makes it look very dated, so I'm just gonna go ahead, take them off and paint them black. This side, parts for this is very hard to find, so I might have to try to fix it and then just paint everything black. And then the vinyl for a 22-year-old boat is not looking bad. It can go with a little bit of a refresh and update, and that's a little small thing, cosmetic stuff that I would do over time. Maybe after the season I would also get that done. Okay guys, that's gonna be a wrap for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions or concerns or any advice or recommendations, please give us a shout out in the comments down below. Until next time, goodbye. See if it goes. Whoa. Let's go. Okay guys, everything I mentioned okay guys, everything I just showed you guys